What is up? It's your boy Johnny Shreve, aka Mr. Tell Like It Is. I didn't think I would find it. I was like, after watching Alex Eubank for a bit, I had no clue that this person existed. I mean, I kind of did, but there is hope for the fitness industry. There is hope in a young man called Max Taylor Lifts. I just watched the video. I was gonna do a coaching up on his training. And then I stuck around to the very end and he was saying some things that I was just like, oh my God, this guy has wisdom. And I co-sign. I endorse this kid. I don't want to say kid, I'll endorse this young man. This is the kind of guy that you want to watch. We're gonna watch the end of his video called Heavy Upper Body Workout, my opinion on steroids. I'm gonna go over his comments and point out some of the things that you guys should be applying to your life.
I got 6, felt nice. It didn't feel too shaky or anything, even though it's new weight.
There's one less natty in the industry. If you guys have seen already, Alex Eubank hopped on gear. What do I think about it? I don't know. I'm not gonna hop on gear until my PP quits working and my overall mortality decreases drastically and I need TRT, but that's the extent that I would do. Me, I've had a lot of things that would probably pop up if I took gear, like acne. I took Accutane twice already. I relapsed after taking Accutane.
I don't know how old this guy is. I don't know. I'm just gonna assume he's probably the same age as Alex. But right off the bat, like, what a solid answer. I'm not gonna do steroids. How do you feel about what I feel about it? I don't know. But I know that I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it until my mortality, like until it's detrimental to my health, to my mortality. That is an answer that you don't hear quite often, because you've seen Will Tennyson's video, you've seen Jesse James with the walk around and ask people, hey, you want to do steroids? Or would you do steroids? Would you do steroids? And this is one of the most straightest, best answers I've heard yet from a young cat. Because he knows, he's self-aware. This is a guy that's self-aware. What is self-awareness? Just understanding who you are, understanding yourself emotionally, mentally. You know what makes you tick, you know what makes you angry, all those things, you know. And this guy's got a high level of it, I can just tell. When he talked about relapsing on Accutane, Accutane's something, I remember Accutane because I had a bunch of kids when I was in high school, I had to take it. So for a guy right now who's like, would you take steroids? And he goes through his memory files, he's clicking through his files like, hold on a second here. Let me see, I know what steroids do because I've seen a bunch of influencers doing it and I've seen all the dangers and I definitely have researched and stuff like that. And let me see, I had a bad time with acne, yeah. When I was bigger, when I was younger, I had gyno, yeah. I don't want to take it because that's probably gonna come up and make it worse.
And like trying to prove some type of shit to people, that's fucking bullshit, because I think you should be in the gym for yourself and your own goals, and it shouldn't really fucking matter what people think. The gym at the end of the day is the one thing you can control. Like, be like, damn, everything else is shit, but I can have a good ass session. That's always how it was for me. So if
I want to train with Max Taylor. I want to be Max's friend. Hey Max, if you ever see this, man, just know that Johnny Shreve would love to have a session with you and just chop it up, man. And just cause this gives me hope. Like you can't give a better answer. That is exactly what I've been saying this for years. What he just said there was what made it click for me when I was in dialectical behavioral therapy. When we were doing body scans, and I had to do DBT in his group therapy, right? And I had to leave a few times because it was some deep stuff. Like it was hard for me. And then when we started doing more of the body scans, doing a lot of, some just different, mindfulness exercises, that's what clicked to me. I was like, wait a minute, man. Like being in the moment and being mindful is like what I do every time I'm in the gym. Because the one thing that you can control. It's the one thing in the world that you can control, and really it's yourself. You are the only thing, the only thing in your entire life on this planet that you have 100% control over is you. And that's what the gym should be for. If you want to be healthier and you want to live longer, you have to go to the gym. If you want to live long and feel strong and be the best version of you, you have to go to the gym and you have to work out and you have to do the sets and you got to grind. And then you reap the benefits. And that's what it should be for, that's it. And my man gave a straight ass answer. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, if you're doing it for animosity, it's bullshit. It is. Because comparison is the thief of joy.
a motherfucker's sacrificing their well-being just to look a type of way for someone or because people are talking shit, that's bullshit. There is a lot of pressure with social media, and that's his living and livelihood, and I mean, motherfuckers be hating. It is what it is, bro. It's usually people projecting. Like if someone says some hater shit, you can navigate their account and like break that shit down. Like if you've had bad acne and that stuff, you know it like fucking torments with your subconscious, bro. That's probably the worst mental health I've had was when I had bad acne.
This guy has got some awareness that we should all strive for. Right, I barely get pimples, but when I do, because I got a black face, it looks like someone's shining a flashlight in the dark. It does. It looks like that. And I could imagine having my face covered in it because it's the first thing people see. And we don't really have too much control over the first impression we have when we see something physical. We can definitely see somebody, and then it takes us to have that self-awareness, self-control to be able to make sure that thought process is something more positive in the head, not just automatically start judging. But it's impossible to see somebody and not think something right away. So if you guys who are deciding, like if you're on the fence about doing stairs, if you're some young cats out there, if you're like, hey man, I think I want to do stairs, I want you to just think about all the things that you've already had happen to you. I want you to look in your family tree, see how luscious the hair is in the family. Right? Do you remember having acne? Did you have acne? Was it a problem in your high school? Did you get acne all the time? Did you? If you did, you're gonna get a lot of it. You do steroids, you're gonna get a lot of it. It's gonna come right up. The only time you need steroids, testosterone replacement therapy, is when you have low testosterone. Here's when you go and talk to your doctor about TRT. And it has to be not just one, but all, or most, okay? Number one, you're 30 plus years old and you have erectile dysfunction, meaning like your man ain't as happy as he used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like you're feeling mentally worn down, tired, depressed. Your motivation for doing a lot of things is plummeted. Like, those are reasons why you would talk to your doctor about going on HRT. You don't go to your doctor and talk about going HRT when you just feel like you want to go on steroids. Because people think just because you're 30 and older, it's an automatic default, you got to go on HRT. It's not.
My back shots. It's just like so unpredictable. The unpredictables are the scariest part because that shit isn't the stuff I've seen before. Like, what if I have a weird genetic reaction with my kidneys or shit that like I can't fucking replace unless I go to Mexico and get some fucking deal or something. Can't tell a motherfucker how to live his life, but you gotta be fucking smart about that. I'm not trying to do all that extra shit either. Like worrying about fucking dosages and blood work, and if shit does go wrong, trying to fix it, because shit does go wrong. I've heard it behind the scenes.
It does. And it was funny because I know you guys, he's in the States, and the reason why I figured he's like, and I gotta go to Mexico to find myself like a liver or a kidney or whatever, is because like I kind of have an idea. It's like when you're in the States and you got a problem that you gotta get yourself like a liver or a kidney or whatever, you better have some real good insurance. And like in Canada, it's like not like it's even better because it's like, hey man, if you gotta get a replacement, you're on a list. You're on a list and you're waiting probably just as long as the person who's probably not gonna get in the States. All the things that he's saying are so true that people don't think about. Like, what if you do have some kind of genetic anomaly that you go on, all of a sudden it flares up a cancer cell and all of a sudden you got cancer? Or all the things that you have no clue are happening. And again, guys, when I did steroids, when I was blasting, you know how many times that I was bad at forgetting shots because I just hated it? I got ADD, man. People think like, oh, just take a steroid. It's not, man. It's like, there's a legit ass responsibility at taking it and being responsible doing it. So it's like all the things that Max is sitting there being like, man, I don't want to deal with that stuff. They're the same reason why you should too.
I got into the gym because of a bad mental state I was in, and it gave me a good way to escape everything. I have social media and it's like I post for my community, but a motherfucker was posting and setting alarms for 200 likes when I was working at a warehouse job, bro.
You know, what I love about this is everyone has a reason why they went to the gym. People go to the gym obviously because like they have a love for it and they just end up being in the gym somehow, right? There's someone takes them to the gym or whatever, but for the most part, some people go to the gym. Like for me, it was, there's a girl I like. That was kind of what got me interested. I was always like, I always had like weight stuff at home. We had little dumbbells and stuff, and I always lift those. I was always lifting. But the first time I actually go to the gym, I was like, I don't know the gym. There's this girl that, you know, I liked. She was a twin, and then this other guy that was dating her, and he was a year older than me, and he was a goalie, so he was like short and stocky. And I had glasses on, looked like freaking Urkel and stuff. I'm like, I need to change the way I look. I need to get bigger. And I got in the gym, and coincidentally, the same year I got in the gym, the same year I started playing football. And then I realized when I was in the gym, like, because as soon as I was in the gym, I was making gains, because I had a coach right away. Like, I was blessed to have a coach. My uncle was coaching me. And then I realized when I started playing football more, I was like, that year I was playing football in training, I was like, I'm running mothers, I was chucking cats. And then along with everything else in my life, it was one of those things that helped me escape. It was somewhere I can go that I knew I can just kind of take out aggression. In terms of like, I can take out aggression and hone it into lifts and train hard. The way it made me feel like I can release. It was a great release. And I think it's great for everybody to do that. The problem with it, here's the problem on the flip side. If you don't have a clear vision of why you're in the gym, you go to the gym because of validation. and you're looking for validation in the gym. And nowadays, unfortunately, people are looking for validation when they're bodybuilding. Because most people now, they bodybuild because bodybuilding is like for everybody can bodybuild now. And they got in the gym or bodybuilding because they didn't make the team, they weren't accepted, or they couldn't find, they couldn't fit in somewhere, the girl, whatever it is. And it's the absolute worst place to look for validation ever. Not only are you looking for validation, but you're comparing your validation with someone else's validation. And I'm trying my best to keep people on that same path, because you don't want to look for validation in places where you're not gonna get it.
You fucking scroll on Instagram Reels now, and it's like you see a 16-year-old fucking sumo deadlifting 700 and shit now. Like, it's pretty fucking regular. I think it's just because people have access to social media a lot more now in comparison to before. I was hoodied up until fucking 180, bro. Up until fucking 180, bro. I was never doing that. It was a side hustle thing with working a regular job. So it's definitely what you do outside of your regular work, because you got to put food on the table and provide. You're not going to be a fucking full-time fitness Alex Eubank fitness influencer fucking right off the bat. God damn, I would be so heated if I got back acne and nipples, bro. If there's not that much of a difference between hitting muscles once a week and twice a week, if I hit maximal sets for both, then I might want to hit muscles once a week, because 2 leg days is ass, and I'd rather put more emphasis on certain muscle groups, because the muscles you train later on in your sessions inevitably get less work.
I got this look on my face that was like, this kid is like far beyond wisdom. When I got into, when the pandemic happened, that's when my channel started to kind of, be where it's at right now. I had a channel since 2012. My fitness one, I had one before that in 2008, and it was for my CFL highlight reel for the draft. I never got into this thing because I thought I could make money. I never started doing YouTube because I thought I could make money or make a living. It just kind of fell into it. When I started, even at the same time me and Greg, I was actually editing for Greg at the point. I was actually trying to teach Greg how to use iMovie and whatever else, and then he actually hired me, and then I couldn't do it because I was actually doing a full-time head coach at a gym. And I never got into this thing because I thought I could, make a living. I already had an online business that was doing okay, and then I had, I was doing in-person coaching, which was like a breakthrough for me. Fitness for me as a business and as a career, I can tell you right now, it's hard. It is. There's nothing. When people tell you, I want to be a fitness influencer, you understand that if you want to be a successful one, actual successful, like someone who can be like, you make a living from this, I make a living from this, it's hard. It is hard. It's mentally taxing. It's hard, but the reason why I do it and still do it is because at the base of what I'm doing, it's passion. I have a passion for fitness since I was 11 years old. Even before that, I've loved training. This for me is like one of those things that's like pay it forward, it's easy. I want everyone to love the gym like me. I want everyone to understand how much of a blessing that training can be. That's what I want. That is, like, for me, it's like, there's no greater feeling than when I see a client, their training's better now. They're efficient, they're way efficient at training. Like, when I make this flex all the time. I always say, my athletes can coach your coach. I swear to God, I believe it, and they can. Because I'm so passionate about what I do that it's like, I don't want to keep it in. I don't want to have this. I don't want to keep it to myself. I want everyone to have it. I want everybody to have what I have. The same kind of feeling Max have, the same thing I have. If you want to get into this thing because you think you just want to make money off it and be like, I want to be like Alex Eubank or whoever else, understand that there's a passion piece of this that is extremely important. It's quintessential for you to even be successful at this, because there's a lot of people who try this who fail miserably. And there's a lot of people who tried a lot of things, not even just influencers, but there's a lot of people who get into a lot of careers for the wrong reason, and the key component of that success is passion, and they don't have it, and they fall on their face. If you're like, hey, I want to be an influencer, whatever, just understand that if you do not have a passion for this, don't even bother. But just because you're in the gym, it doesn't mean you have to make a career out of it. The gym is something for you. The gym is your thing for you. It's to help you get stronger. You get mentally stronger, physically stronger, healthier. It's your thing. That's your tool. It doesn't have to be something that has to be monetized. It could just be it could just be exactly what it is, where it was when I started back in the day. No one really cared. You went to the gym. You didn't tell everybody you went to the gym. You didn't take pictures and be like, hey guys, look at me in the gym. You just did it because you loved it and you knew it was beneficial for your life, and that's it. I'm gonna do a coaching up on Max to lifts on this same video coming up for sure. I co-signed this cat. I think he's a gem. We need more young cats like this, because this is what's gonna keep this industry as positive as it possibly can. Anyway, guys, for coaching, johnnyshreefitness.com, fill that application and then get on a 50-minute call with me, and we'll go over your goals and see what we can do and achieve together. I know, guys, until next time, you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing.